Hello, welcome to UMATA. Who matters? UMATA. Today we're going to talk about another note I have. And it's a simple fact that, the universe was just built this way. You need to get over it. I was talking previously about how the planet Earth sucks to live on, how it's actually kind of painful and kind of miserable in a lot of ways. That's true. But there's a deeper thing to that. The universe was just built the way it was. Who built it? The Big Bang, God, why, the design, whatever. Doesn't matter how you look at that question. But there's nothing you can do about it. It's like, when I talk to some friends in New York City, and there's women that I know that are very smart and very capable. And they get upset with why a corporate structure is the way it is, and how they, if you have a kid, it gets in the way of your career, and it's not fair that guys don't have to have kids, but women do. And it's like, you kind of need to shut up, okay? I understand, things are challenging for women, and in a lot of ways, some things about being a woman is more difficult than a man, and that's true. But you could say the same thing about a man in other ways, and primarily when it comes to being sent off to war at 17. But might I digress? Whenever I see someone talking about stuff like that, in some ways I kind of get it, but in the other ways it's kind of like, you actually do have to just shut up, because what you're describing is a complaint that I didn't have any part in. No corporation, no CEO, no banker built the universe the way it is. You have to just there is a certain point where you have to just stop being a child, and you have to grow up as an adult and go, wow, this place isn't as fun as it was when I was a kid. Why is that? Well, because you were being shielded and protected by someone else's money and energy and pain and toil and suffering when you were a kid. And then when you become an adult and you have to pay for your own rent, you have to pay for your own car, you have to get a job to feed yourself, whatever. That's when the weight of that gravity hits you. Bam! And you're like, this sucks. And it does suck. Not my problem, though. It's not my fault. Dude, when you're complaining, I'm literally in the same position you're in. You're complaining about going to work and having a job and paying for rent. Dude, what do you think I had to do all day? Not my fault. The universe was built this way. So we can take this a little bit more further, though. Let's be a little bit constructive. Let's be a little positive about where this goes. The reason why it was built this way is because of a simple fact. When a soul comes back, generally speaking, your soul lives in heaven somewhere, in the light being. When you reincarnate and when you incarnate into your body, your soul enters the earth, it lowers its vibration, pops into a body, you got parents or whatever, and then you get to experience this thing called the earth. The reason why Earth is shittier and why it was built this way is because in the afterworld and in the other dimensions, it's actually amazing and it's nice. When you're in those nice environments as a soul, you can't learn shit. You really can't. Earth is a playground that was constructed in some design at some point, somewhere, I don't know where or how, as a playground to learn things. And that's really the only answer I have for you, is the universe was just built this way as a way for souls and energies to learn certain lessons that can't be learned in other ways. Because in heaven, when you go back home, everything's great. There's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no darkness, everything's light, blah, blah, blah. It's just a fun, happy playtime. But in that environment, it actually can be a little bit stagnant for the development of a soul. So you come to a place that's not as easy. And that's Earth, or whatever other planet. And this gets a little bit esoterical, and if you didn't come here to watch this stuff, well, you can go back to the other videos. But there is a maturity here. There is an importance to discussing things in this way. There is a level of growing up that you have to do to change and become a better person. And a lot of it just has to deal with just accepting that a lot of time in your life, which is actually going to be pretty short. Even if you lived 80 years, that's not a lot of time. It's really not. You're going around the sun 80 times. 80 of anything is not really a lot. Okay? So don't worry, it will be over soon enough. But the acceptance of what it is will allow you to endure the problems that are going to come up on a day-to-day basis. And when you accept that you had no control over it, and this is the way it is, then you can stop wasting mental energy on it, trying to change it or fix it, or being angry at it. And instead you can then adjust your behavior to do something with it of some value, of some usefulness, of some enjoyment that you might not get in any other way. And that's really the only advice I have for you, is that you had no control over it. And even if you did, it'd be such a small amount for it to be anything actually all that constructive. So you have to be very specific and find small things that you can have enjoyment in and actually have control over, and just stick to those things. That's all I got for you today. Who matters? You matter. Like, comment, subscribe.